Yo, just want to apologize for how heinous and disgusting I am during the video that you're about to watch. But I believe Paul Tassi's takes on PoE 2 are so unhinged and delusional that you need to see this. It's Paul Tassi from the New York Times.
Alright, I am back with a new Path of Exile 2 video, which may end up being my last one for a while, which is unfortunate.
Whoa!
I don't really want to make this video.
Whoa.
I know it will probably get me yelled at a certain amount by existing fans, calling me a tourist or whatever. I'm a new player. I'm a new player to Path of Exile, so I can only give my take, but this is based on an article I wrote today about Path of Exile 2's Endgame. And that was sort of a reaction to my own experience, and then a video I watched from Kripparrian, who is a great YouTuber.
He just watched the Crip vid and he's doing a Crip take? That's what he's doing. Dude, no shot. Paul Tassi, bro. Wait, what was Paul Tassi's take? Wait, was Paul Tassi's take D4 was good? Was that his take?
I watched so much of his stuff during Diablo, and he's great. And he really articulates the issues that I'm having and made me feel like I'm not really alone. And the end result is like, I got to stop playing this for the time being. Where I am currently at in the game, it does not seem like there's a reasonable path forward to continue.
How do you open a kebab, bro?
Yeah, this is early access. I will fully acknowledge that, and clearly it is an early access for a reason, because this endgame is not it for, I would say, the vast majority of players. I also think I have probably played more than a lot of, quote unquote average players, not as much as, the 14, 15 hour a day grinding streamer.
Yeah, I think he was like Starfield's good and D4's good. Am I crazy? I think it was Starfield. Maybe I'm misrepresenting. I'm not sure. I remember beefing with Tassi at some point. He reacted to me. Paul Tassi reacted to me. I can't remember what I. Yeah, but the Tassinator. This is the guy when I said, "Yo, do you know that? You know when that like they're doing the early access, like, and they're giving out the game to journalists." And like, I was saying, "Fuck Fix for Life. Fuck, like that guy sucks. Big dick. Fuck Fix for Life. What a fucking bozo that gave it to Fix for Life." And I was like, "They should give it to Paul Tassi. Okay, give it to the Tassinator. This is the guy."
Guys, but probably more than a lot of people who have just been kind of playing the early access when they have a free moment or two. This is my job, so I have had a lot more time. I've gone through the campaign 2 times, once on normal, once on cruel difficulty, which is ironic because cruel is much easier because your build is really ramped up by that point, where at lower levels it can be really challenging. Krip talks about how Act 2 was like the hardest the game was for him because you can be so underpowered at that point, especially melee, that you can't really do anything about it because you can't really farm up in a traditional sense in an act, because that's just not really how it's structured. So you are a little bit stuck until you figure out some of these fights. It was challenging. It was definitely.
What the fuck's he on about, bro? What the fuck? What did you just say, bro? Was that? I'm so confused. Is he playing the same game as us? Literally, that's exactly what I did, was farm up for the boss fights. You just go to the same zone and you farm. I don't know if he knows about you can farm the zone. Because, YOLO.
There are challenging aspects to it, especially in normal. And I'm okay with that. I do not need to be a Diablo 4 steamroller of just, blowing up entire screens of guys and, just not really feeling any challenge, even at kind of the hardest difficulties. It's fun, certainly, but I appreciated Path of Exile's more kind of methodical pace. The bosses, which, maybe not fully Dark Souls, but that kind of idea where you learn their attack patterns, trial and error, all this stuff. So by the end, I was cruising. I think I beat all of the act bosses in anywhere from 1 to 3 tries with my ranger build. And I was excited to get to the end game because, my build was like, okay, I'm going to keep powering it up. I'm going to keep leveling up. And this end game looks really interesting. It's like this big map. You got all these different nodes. You plug in waystones for like different levels of challenge and things. And that sounded pretty cool to me. It seemed like a really interesting setup. There's a whole new skill tree for it. And I'm like, all right, let's take it on. This is nothing like the game that came before it. The main issues here are that all of these dungeons are now, or these maps are now one death over. You have one life, and if you die for any reason, you're out of the map. And not only are you out of the map, you can also no longer go back to that same map because it eats your waypoint token. So,
oh no, Tassi, bro. Tassi. Oh no, bro.
You have to go grind out a new waypoint token, usually on a lower level, depending on how many of these you have, and then get back up to that tier, and then hope you don't die again. One death per level, especially at like the base levels of these, seems overly punishing. That is certainly not how the normal game worked in any capacity. Dying was like not the greatest because it would set you pretty far back on the map.
Right, it set you back. There was a massive downside. There's always been huge downsides. Dying, just don't die in the map. There should be punishments for making mistakes. Otherwise, you understand? If everything is easy, and there's no, and basically what happens is, if there's nothing to disincentivize you from dying, that incentivizes degenerate builds with no life, which is unfun gameplay. And on top of that, it doesn't feel good to succeed because you succeed by cheesing bosses, by cheesing the game. You just corpse rush a boss instead of actually fighting the boss and learning the boss and then overcoming the adversity and challenge. I'm sorry. Like, we're straight up. Like, bro, it's a skill issue. I mean, it's a skill issue, homie. This is a skill issue.
And not only would you have to trek all the way back, but they would respawn all the enemies. It wasn't, it was kind of annoying, but it was fine. And then all the bosses, they were hard, but they would at least spawn you right outside again. Again, a lot of boss fights are trial and error, learning their moves, figuring out how to beat them. And unless you were just so powerful, you would tank a boss, one-shot a boss, whatever, really easily. They're certainly all about trial and error. The young game is not like this all. And the problem with the one death thing is, okay, maybe I could, that's a challenge and it's not ideal, but you just play really, really carefully. Yes, but that only works to a point. And, you will find at certain points in the game, kind of no matter what your build is, depending on where you are in the game, that it is possible to get one shot. And then the further you go, it almost becomes more possible because of enemy damage scaling. And that's certainly true on a ranger, which relies on kind of dice roll evasion to get around stuff. And obviously on melee, you're getting hit a lot more. So not only are you losing a map, but like any rogue hit from any big enemy can theoretically kill you. And
no, if you're dying in maps, that is like your character either sucks or you are bad at the game. Like if you're just repeatedly dying in maps. I'm sorry, either your build sucks or you trash. It's probably just your build sucks because it's really not that hard to clear a map. It really is not that hard. Like, you just go in the map and you clear it. You clear it, bro.
I'm like, okay, well, this isn't great, and I don't really love how this is going, but, is this just the beginning? Like, am I just not strong enough to be taking this on, even if I am kind of at the lower ranks? And, like, yeah, I was beating some of the lower maps and stuff, but then you'd take a one hit and then, lose your stone, and now I'm out of stones and trying to figure out what to do. And then I watched the Krip video, and the Krip video kind of...
Bro, motherfucker ran out of stone? Wait, he ran out of stone. Bro, how are you running out of stones, man? Fucking stone, bro. I'm in a truck. I need to stop talking about eating.
kind of laid everything out. It is the video that just straight up made me like, yeah, I'm out. Okay. Like, this is not something I want to play. The issue there is, like, the long and short is it doesn't get any better from here. It gets worse. And what Krip explains is that the further you get into this, the deaths get more and more punishing. So everything is, one death, you're out of the map.
Bro, no, bro, the game gets harder, bro. No. Wait, you get further into the game, it gets harder, bro? Bro, nah, bro, I'm out. Bro, I'm quitting, man. Nah, bro, straight up, I can't play this game anymore. The game gets harder as you go further.
But you get further in, you start losing XP, and Lord knows how hard it is to, gain XP at higher levels already, so you'll lose some percentage of your XP if you die. You will not only lose your higher tier waystone, but in some of these places, you will lose all of the connecting points to like where you just got to. So you'll have to replay those maps to get all the way back up to what you need. And in those lower maps, according to him, like you're not farming anything remotely at all that you need. So you could do that for an hour, get all the way there, die again, go back.
What is he on about? He's watched Krip's video, just completely misunderstood what Krip was saying, and then he's just misrepresenting it awfully and just making shit up. That's what's happening. Unfortunately, that's what's happening.
You've lost XP, so like you can actually be behind where you started at that tier. And like as annoying as it is to have to start a map over and lose your waystone, that sounds infinitely more annoying the higher you get. The second thing he verifies is that this one-shotting thing is not going to stop. Like not really in any build. He's talking about how like you have to build for like 3,000 HP, like all the armor you can, max resistance, all of the stuff. And even then, you can still get one shot or at least killed in very cheap ways. And he talks about, floor effects that you can barely even see that kill you, or enemy attacks that are not telegraphed, or, elite modifiers that you have to like fully understand as they're running towards you that you can't avoid because there are no movement skills in this game. And he talks about how the entire game essentially is based around dodge rolls and not screwing up dodge rolls, because if you are in a situation where you can get one hit, the only way you can always avoid that, theoretically, is hitting every dodge roll perfectly. And obviously, I know there are like these highest tier guys who are like, have the best builds in the world and are like crazy APM dodge roll folks, but like, Krip is a top tier.
Bro, from my experience, I've been able to face tank everything in the game without skill. So far. Like, okay. The only thing that's been able to kill me in one hit was a bug. So it's just hard false. It's hard false, bro. Hard false. Like, you can overgear, and you can not dodge roll. Now, you'd have to keep fast looking. I'm talking about one-shots, though. I've never been one-shot by anything that wasn't a bug. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Now, there's lots of bug mobs in the game, though. And, Krip's right about ground effects being... But poorly telegraphs ground effects one on you. That's stupid as well. I agree.
Player, and if he's saying this, and I've seen other top players saying this too, like what hope do any of us have? And it's enough to just sort of make me stop playing. I don't see a reason to keep going here.
That is pathetic.
If it's not really even about getting stronger, if it's not like I just am, not skilled enough or whatever because I don't hit every single dodge roll in every single map. Like,
holy fuck.
That to me is nothing like what I've played so far. And I feel like I've heard some people pushing back on this. Asmongold made a video about Krip's video. Of course, I guess I'm doing that here, but I'm not playing Krip's video. Where he's like, it's not that hard. Like, he's complaining too much. Yeah. And like both Asmongold switched off of a warrior because it was too hard and switched to something else. And also, like, a lot of the people complaining.
What the fuck is this, Paul Tassi? Is this ego protection? What is this? What is happening right now? Is he just trying to... It's like he's got a point... Like he's got a bias. And he's just making up whatever the fuck he wants to... to prove his point. It's a skill... Bro. If you're dying to a skill issue, you should practice and get better. You shouldn't watch a video of some guy complaining and then quit the game. Like, and on top of that, that's pathetic. If you're enjoying a game and you're playing a game and then someone makes a video and says some shit and then you quit it, like, that's pathetic, right? I don't know what is that? Like, you should quit the game when you want to quit the game, not because some guy made a video about the game who said it's going to get harder later or something. Like that guy can just be wrong, which, I mean, clearly Tassi has misunderstood the video. Let's not get it twisted. Well, either he's misunderstood the video or he's deliberately misrepresenting what Krip said. Those are the two options.
Are not in the end game. They might be on cruel difficulty or something like, well, I'm on cruel difficulty and this game isn't hard at all. It's like, yeah, that's true. Cruel difficulty was not very hard. But you get into the end game, you play an hour of that and figure out like how this is going and how this is going to work. I think you will probably end up being where I'm at. And the thing is like, I don't want to abandon this game. Like I really enjoy Path of Exile. I had a great time with the 50 whatever hours I put in it to beat both stages of the campaign. I'm just so disappointed that the end result of this is essentially like a non-functional end game where it just
What are you talking
it doesn't
about?
seem remotely worth
You in a non-functional endgame play D4, bro. What the fuck is he talking about, bro? Oh my god, bro.
trying to play it, especially solo. I would love for stuff to be overhauled to the point where it actually feels rewarding for, the pretty decent, if I'm steamrolling everything on Cruel, I'd at least like to, participate in the end game in a more meaningful extent than like, just the base lower tier one.
What does he want? What do you want, a trophy? You want a participation trophy? What is he saying? Does he want rate? Does he want rate finder? If you want to participate in the high tier maps, get to high tier maps. It's like he's saying, I deserve to be doing high tier maps for nothing. Look, I was doing Cruel, so then I deserve to be in high tier maps. Wait, what is he even saying, bro? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
And even those, if you step the wrong way, you can lose. And there's nothing, you can really do about your build to fully change that, according to, other people. I can imagine maybe this will be fixed and overhauled over time. I looked at what they're changing in the end game, and it was just like, we're adding more rare packs so you can finish maps faster or something like that. And like they didn't address anything about difficulty or whatever. And like, to be clear, I'm not anti-difficulty. There were very, very challenging parts in this game.
Bro,
in the early campaign.
You said you quit the game because it was too difficult. You said, like, I was playing it, it was hard, and then I saw a video from Kripparrian who said it's hard in the end game, and then I quit.
I don't know how much it'll change.
He's hard to fuck up. He needs to log the fuck into a hardcore character, bro. He needs to get into, he needs to get into log out core, bro, for real. He needs to get into pause core.
It, like, the one death map thing seems kind of baked into the mode. So maybe at best they nerf enemy damage to be more reasonable, so you're just not always getting one shot. One thing that actually does scale pretty well is enemy.
You're not always getting one shot. I've been doing maps for how long now? I'm not got one shot. I've been almost multi killed in a shotgun. I've still have yet to be one shot, and I've tanked. I haven't tanked stuff. I've tanked every telegraph mechanic bar one. I feel like. But there's one boss that I have not tanked the ball that comes out from the mud guy. Does that mud ball one shot? Does anyone know? Is that mud ball gonna one shot me? No. So then there you go. I mean, what the fuck?
Health, like my build was actually doing still really good damage to these higher level enemies. I thought that was a really good aspect of it. But if you're just going to be one shot with every attack you can't dodge roll out of, or like fighting a boss where you don't know the mechanics and the first attack kills you, like what do you? You're
supposed to learn, bro. You're playing softcore, man. Like, what the fuck? What does he want? Does he want to just always win? Is that what? I don't understand what he wants. What does he want? The game to be easy. Well, I don't get it. Or just like a bunch of portals. He may have a point. Do you know what? There's one thing that I'm worried about. This warlord shit. This warlord system. I haven't seen what it's like. I don't know how hard they are. But the idea that you had to farm out these guys and you get one attempt, and then if you fail it, then you break your whole set. That sounds sussy. I don't know how bad that is yet. I'm yet to see. We'll have to see here.
Let's do about that. And the analogy I like that I put in my article is like, it's like an Elden Ring, a very challenging game that people love and like overcoming the challenge. If you fought Millennia for the first time and died and it reset, it took all of your runes and it erased all sites of grace on that part of the map. Like that is the equivalent of this here.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay, Millennia is optional. On top of that, Millennia is like magnitudes, many, many, many magnitudes harder than anything that I've encountered in PoE 2. Not even close. Okay? And it's not going to reset you. Like, it's not gonna, I guess this means these are just souls. Well, I don't know, dude. It's just not at all an apt comparison. Maybe he's being super hyperbolic, and maybe that's his point. Maybe he's trying to make an exaggerated example, but that's not. It's more like you're fighting, like, I don't know, a boss, some random side boss in Elden Ring, and it takes you like 2 or maybe 3 attempts to kill him, and then when you die, you have to clear like a pack of mobs out of the way. That's more like what it is. You know, you gotta. That's oh no. Well, maybe don't die to the fucking boss, bro, and then learn.
Where I think it's great that games can be challenging, but if they just put in things that are irritating and exhausting and progress erasing for its own sake, like no, I'm not going to deal with that, and that's a literal waste.
It's not for its own sake, bro. It's well, you think you don't want penalties, but you do, bro. GGG could have removed XP penalties from the game from PoE 1 at any point in time, but they didn't because it makes the game objectively better. It's the part of the secret sauce that makes the ARPG having a punishment or a penalty for dying, so then it has to incentivize you to not die, to actually build a character that has real defenses. No, literally, it makes the game better. It's not just for no reason. He's saying it's for no reason. Listen what he's saying.
For his own sake, like no, that are irritating and exhausting and progress erasing for its own sake.
For its own sake. It's not for its own sake. It's like what separates dog shit 4 from PoE. Many decisions like this, many small decisions at scale, like no, dude.
Like no, I'm not going to deal with that, and that's a literal waste of my time if I can play a significant amount of a game and essentially get nothing for it. Like at least right now I'm getting some XP, but if I start losing XP, what am I doing at all at that point? So that's why I'm done for now. I would love to come back to this.
Crying like a little bitch because you're bad at computer games? I don't know.
It's early access. You know, they're going to make big changes to this and that. And there's more campaign to add. I'd love to play more campaign because that was definitely the most fun I had. But I'm curious how everyone else feels about the endgame. If you're running into some of the same issues I have, if you are there, or if you're not there yet, check back when you are, and you can see if you agree with me here. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.
Disagree with every point you made. Every single point. Not even one point. Like he needs to watch Chris' video again and try and understand what the fuck was going on there.